everyone, this is Vicki Ross coming live to you from beautiful Northwest Arkansas. Today is Tuesday and this is my live feed for the week. So live means that there will be some pauses until we start and it's a little bit of chit chat. So if you're not interested in that, I encourage you to fast forward. Okay. This is my live from last week, or my portrait from last week. I was going to come back in this week and rework her, and I was told, no, don't touch it. So I'm not going to touch it. They say it takes two people to paint, one to do the painting and one to tell them when to stop. So she was fine. Use these colors, the hot pink background and the cadmium red color, red orange, so they would contrast. And they don't now. Actually looks pretty good. Oh well. And this gold Pearl X watercolor that I've had forever, really great job. And I put light yellow underneath it first and then just dab the gold on. So hey Joycey, I've been sitting in here just working on stuff. I'm doing the Inktober challenge. I've never done that before because I knew I'd never finish it. But I'm on day 6. It's better than I usually do. I got on the index card today and did the first day. And that was it. Delaying the start for a few minutes till more folks come in. You working on anything interesting, Joyce? Okie dokie. Where is everybody? 3:34. I came on early. Checking to see if we're still alive. Well, alrighty. You know, just have a play day. How about that? So, I'll say it again. I'll say it again. It's Vicki Ross, beautiful Northwest Arkansas. And this is a live performance. This is what I did last week in the live. And I was going to refine it and was told to leave it alone. You kind of critical your own work. I can look at it and tell things that aren't perfect, like I was doing a commission, which I'm not. This is my Dina Weekly book. And I have really enjoyed filling it with faces and collage faces and whatever else. So I'm going to put that away because we're not using it today. I'm going to show you the papers from Robyn McClendon's October printables. This month there are 20 for $6, and you print them out, and if you want to make them your own, then you can jelly print on top of them or put it sheer paints or sheer metallics on top, and it's amazing what you can still do and use this as your base layer. And this month is mostly focused on print, script. I took Robyn's scripting class last week and the week before, and it really is fascinating to watch her do this. And the different kind of marks different brushes make. And she's got a stencil coming out pretty quick with stencil 1. It's going. I think this may be the stencil. I think I've got this one in upside down, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they are nice prints. They could be used a lot of different places. And the trick is getting one good page filled with print and then reduce it on your copy machine, and you have different variations. Come on, like this. And then you can either print it direct on coffee stain paper or coffee stain it after you get finished. My printer doesn't really like coffee stain paper. It doesn't have a manual feed, but the ink is so doggone cheap. I'm not going to complain. I love this page. It's very subtle. Excuse me, forgotten. Hey, Rosemary. I sure miss you. Little spots of red here and there. And then some tag size pieces. And I think those are probably ATC size. Anyway, these are very usable. And last week I was all set to do my demo on these, or my project, and then this week I forgot all about it and got excited about another one, another project. I will show you my Inktober stuff. I'm doing Chris Legaspi. His website is Draw with Chris. And he gave a 7-day head study class to go along with it. And I have really learned a lot, but these are done with ballpoint pen, and it's hard to me, and I've never done it before. Oops, skipped a page. This was a pretty good day. And once you make a mark with the ink pen, it's down there. And there's no going back and altering. These are timed poses too. These are 5 to 10 minute poses. That's a good look out there. Actually, I got him better here, and he's okay here. I think that's the same guy we did today. This day was pretty good. And then one of the head study classes had us working on eyes. And different architectural ways you can get them right. Like they're not almond shaped perfect. There's a high spot on one corner at about a 30-degree angle and a low spot over here to match it. So they're not perfectly rounded. So you can kind of plot it with straight lines, levels, planes. I knew that one, right? And this was today's. So that's that book, and that is an Arteza journal. Mixed media pad. And I was going to do today's deal in there, but I tried it. I'll show you. This is my Arteza color swatch, trying to compare, see how close the colors match from watercolor pen to the watercolor to gouache. They're gouache. And they don't match them across the different lines. Be nice if they did. It's in here. I played with the alcohol inks here, and they bleeded through. I could have still done it, but I decided I was going to do the Arteza Everblend markers on craft plastic from come on, mind. Graphics. I'll get it in a minute. Okay. Now, what have I got on there? Maybe I can get it off. A little alcohol. Yeah. This paper doesn't stain as much as Yupo because I had some test spots down here. When I do, my fingers must be dirty. When I do portraits in pastels, I use a layering, kind of an impressionist style, so that the different layers lay on top of each other, almost like cross-hatching, but you can see the other layers through the top layers. And I've picked out some cola. I am going to use a lot of these three. I forgot to show you my source. You know me, I just flip through and find one that I like and then use it. So y'all can watch it here, and I have it on my iPad up here. So I am using a 5948 lime green, a 9425 peach, and and 36 jasmine yellow. Maybe we can get a picture. Is that in focus enough? I got the pack of 60, and I love these cases. So a pack of 60. I don't know if they're going to add more or not, but if they did, I would like to have some more light colors. There, I just put my request in. All right, scooch over there, put those there. Now, this is a 0.25 millimeter pen, ballpoint pen. I'm thinking. I did it once in pencil. Here's my, but you can hardly see it when I do it. So I'm going to do this again. Without the construction lines. Well, it'd be nice if you put the pen down. It's not liking this paper just a whole lot, but that's okay. We can adjust those outer lines when we start. Let me see. Oh, it was to here. The circle. That's a little bit smaller than what I was doing. Measuring on the iPad, that's close. Yeah, we're close enough on the iPad. You know me, I like to measure. So, the first thing we want to do is put the crosshairs in where the eye goes. And this is the whole head, so the eyes will be halfway. And her face is tilted a little bit. A little to the tilted to her. It's to our right, so let's not make it hard. So I'm just going to put a little mark here. It's a little bit off center. And her eyes are going to be right here. Now this mark, this plus sign in here, is perpendicular to each other forever, okay? From tear duct to tear duct, this line and this line are perpendicular. But she's curved a little bit, not much, but a little. So I can very lightly, or not at all, give myself a curved line there. And that's the position of her eyes and ears. Okay, eye goes here. And here, that's an eyeball. The nose line is about right here. Now remember that you're kind of slanting, so your little markers for your features are going to be slanted too. It's a little bit too low, about right there. Okay, now the brow bone is going to mimic. It's going to be parallel to our eye line, and that's where the eyebrows go. That's also the top edge of the eye socket. Now the eye socket fits kind of in here. And here's your duct. And in here. Now you want to make sure that your eyes are one eye width apart. So close. Now this is the bone where your eye socket sits. And it's more rounded, but it's similar to that. And this one is way too high. So about like that's where the eyeballs are. Now from the tear duct straight down is the edge of the nose. The edge of the nose is the width of one eye. And it's easy. Can you see it good enough? And that turns right in. Well, let's see. That's the width of the eye. Now you're going to have another plane that comes up like this and over and makes your eyebrow. And that's coming in from this secondary plane right here. So about like that. And then over here, it's the same thing. You're going to come in just a little bit. And then you're going to come across here. Now the eyebrow is not fancy. It just comes there and then kind of follows the brow line. We're the ones that make them weird. Just follows that brow bone. Now, directly under this brow bone is a hole. And that's where your eyeball fits. And your eyeball is this big. So just knock off the points on that and you pretty much got your eyeball. And it is perfectly round. Now the nose is slanting. It's looking up a little bit. And just got a little triangle here. And there's the nostrils. And the nostrils. That's not quite centered, but that's be good. Alrighty, now we're ready for the mouth. Now the mouth comes straight down from the eyeball. And her mouth is a little bit shorter on this side than on the other side. It's not much. Just a little bit because her head is tilted. So this is the line that, and I don't have to make it that big or that wide. The other thing is you will have the same distance from eyeball to corner of mouth. This distance and this distance is the same. So if the mouth is slanting this way, it means the eye is slanting the same way. You with me still? So that is our, she's got a long fulcrum. I think that's what it's called. So I'm gonna use that line as my top. I'm just gonna come in a little bit. She's got nice full lips. And then I can bring it down, big full upper lip. The upper lip is always in shadow. And then the lower lip we just mark with a line, a shade line, about like that. We don't draw the lower lip. All right, now ears. The ear is on this line, your eye line. It hooks to the head right there. And it, at the bottom, hooks to the nose about right there. And that is the same angle as what we've got. I've got that a little bit too high. It'll be covered with hair. I used the wrong line. And I did this so that if I messed it up, I could use the one on the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw this so that you can see what I've been up to. This is the cheekbone construction line. It also starts at where the ear attaches. This is the muzzle. And this is the circle for the chin. So now I'm going to do the eyes. And her eyes are, I'm going to draw my polygon. Now there's a plain, a straight line version of what I was just talking about. And that is her eyelid. And her eyeball sits right here. And then her eyelid comes in right here. And this is shaded. And this is shaded. And then she's got where the skull hole ends is where we end up with those little fold lines. And so they're not going to be that pronounced. And your shading has a lot to do with what you're looking at. And I'm going to do the reverse over here. I'm going to put my high point right here, my low point here, and then I'm going to round them off. And it's not quite that high. Then her eyelid comes in about like that. This is all shaded. Boy, this paper sure doesn't like this pen. And this is shaded. This is shaded. And the mouth does need work, but like I just told you, that once you do this, you're pretty much committed. And the lower lip can pretty much be left alone. Her neck comes down about right here. And about right there. So, beautiful, huh? Now I'm going to work on this one. And because I'm in alcohol ink, I'm going to go ahead and erase my construction lines. and use a pencil to do my eyes. My eyes are pretty doggone much right in the center. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. This just really makes it a whole lot easier to get your eyes the same. Teared up, and eyeball. Now to get the eyelid on. Now then, this nose right here, let me check that. It's a little bit wide. It needs to come in back like that. Now remember, this line is a shadow line that goes right up to that eyebrow. And we've got a secondary line right here. Comes around the ball of her nose and up and over for the white part. And then this gets shaded because of the brow bone. Now do the mouth real quick. See if you can do it better than you did before. Shading right there. Right there. I'm going to measure the bottom of the nose to the, okay, I'm right on target to this line. Now we are ready. I'm right on my line that I drew. I can't tell you how many years I have tried to figure out why my eyes didn't look so realistic. And these probably aren't either, but you know, it's me. What are you going to say? Oops. Let me see who else is here. Fish from, yes. I always call her fulcrum. And that's teeter-totter, I think. I got involved and forgot to put my picture back. I have never done anything with alcohol markers. I got these thinking that I would do wispy flowers and things. I didn't think about using them for doing a face. I'll put her over here. That might be better. Okay, now remember I said that when I do pastels, I layer. And I'm going to try that here. And if it doesn't work, guess what? We can wipe it off. So I'm going to start with this real light green where my shadow shapes are. This is all in shadow. And down here, we come around that cheekbone. And we come here. This is all dark. And come under the cheekbone. And then this side, there's a little bitty white mark right there. And this is shadow under here. And there's a little bit right here. And the upper lip is all in shadow. And under the lip, this is all shadow. And this is all shadow. Now on the other side, we've got some right there. And we've got some right under here. Now on this side, we pretty well have a shape about like that. And then the brow bone is shadowed a little bit. And this pretty much comes across like that. And this comes down a little bit. This part of her lower lip is in shadow. Okay. Yeah, green shadow. Do you know why? Sure you do. You know why? It's because the skin is a red, even though it's a pinkish red or ochre red. And we know that when you have a two-dimensional drawing and you want to make it look three-dimensional, the side in the shadow has to be in shadow and it has to be a darker value and lower intensity. So because of that, if I put pink on top of that green, it's going to give me that shadowed pink. Okay. Now, because we also have yellow in our hands, I'm going to use this jasmine yellow. And now I'm going to do everything but the lightest areas on the face. So I'm going to come in and do this. I'm going to overlap the green. Because I'm working with these for the first time, I'm not going to cover the eyes, but they usually would get, so never mind. We're doing it. And we've got some gold right there. I just covered up white, but that's okay. Now I'm going to come down and get the shadow. A little bit, not a whole lot. Leaving the white. If this works, we'll have done something kind of different. I'm watching chat. Oh, hell, it went dark again. And I think what I'm going to do now is take sienna brown and I'm going to lightly go over her. I didn't mean to do that all the way. You all know I don't underline that bottom eye. Stop. going to reinforce the darker areas. Okay, so that eyebrow is pretty much straight, and then it turns and it's full. And over here, same thing. And it's about like that. And over here, I'm just going to kind of lightly do that. Okay. Need me, honey? Guess not.
I didn't hear you.
I said, do you need me?
No.
Just hitting a few little spots where it'll be darker. That nose is off. Features. Whoop. Now let's see what happens. I'm going to put my pink on. Oops, I didn't put yellow over there. Oopsie. Nothing like experimenting on live. This is dry. Trying not to stay any one spot very long. Now this is the lightest color we have, so I'm just trying to make do. Now then, I'm going to see what happens if I come in with watermelon pink. Good, I'm glad you're still there. I need to alter the drawing just a bit because her chin is a little bit bigger than what I had it. And this side comes down a little more. I just said I was going to try a little bit. Here we go. This is where in soft pastel I would come along and add some white. Which we cannot do here. This color says it is pale peach. Now it's not going to draw on top of, so it's not going to cover. Let's see what it does in here, if it helps blend just a little bit. It's actually removing part of what's under it. Hope it doesn't ruin the marker. Let's see, clean it. It's going to be fun to see me make something out of this. Now you see the color change over here where the green was? It's not as, it's still got a lot of chroma. I kind of have to watch my direction. Woo! Red skin. No, that's not a racial slur. I think this is a dark color. No, it's not too bad. Dark. It's real close to what I've got here. I noticed Rosemary's doing your flow book thing is Native American. Is that right, Rosemary? If you're still here, she usually gets bored a long time before this. Just joking. And we'll see what the blender does. Might want to wait till it's dry. Ooh. Looky, looky. How do you do what it is you do? Another trick in oil painting is to carry your strokes around the form and actually leave your strokes. So, dang it. I'm thinking it's an old ode, baby wipe. I'm just going to kind of fold it up, and I'm going to come back in here and hit some of my lighter areas. Ooh, you got that one good. Now let's try this again. Blender. It's taking off. Slow down. Nobody's going to take it away from you. Just cleaning it off down there because I can erase it with alcohol. you can certainly see where my colors changed. I'm using a very light touch. I have not accomplished a thing. Okay. Just barely try to touch it. Change it to a clean spot. Maybe if I do use that side. Y'all know I'm just making this up as I go along. Trying to get some of the brush strokes out now. Brush strokes. You know what I mean? Switch to the big end. Very light. Better. Now that's still too red or too orange. So, when you ready? Green's the complement. Let's see. And you do this in pastel as well. You come back in on top if you need to. Now I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Well, everybody's gonna be sorry they missed this mess. Okay, layering is not the best idea because it picks up what's under. Linder. Could be just not waiting for it to dry long enough. Ah. Barely touching it. Oh, that didn't work. Wonder what the odds are of picking up the wrong lid 50% of the time. And I hate always saying I need more colors, but these weren't made for layering, I don't think. Of course, like I said, I have never done this before. You didn't need to put green over there, Goose. I'm gonna get the brown back out. What the odds are, how many times you pick up the correct one, the correct end. Oh, what a wish you make. I'm gonna sneak up on the darkness. Let's see. No, I want the pointed one. This is Fumble. Dark chocolate brown. Went all the way around that eye again. I think I'm picking up pointed in more than not. Good to know you can cover it up. Let's, while we're at it, just see if dry. Woo, woo. We're going to salvage it. If I have to get colored pencils out. And I don't have Arteza colored pencils. Sorry guys, I'm just not talking very much because I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna let that dry just a little bit and go ahead with the hair. Now, hair is not black. It will have browns. And I'm going to put some hair on her. And that's the darkest on that side, pretty much. Now over here. This can go down in the history books as the worst demo ever. But I found out what it would do. I'm going to come back in now with black. I'm not drawing hairs, I'm drawing shapes. Dark, dark blue. Denim. Lots of colors in black hair. And then I want dark, dark red. So I'm going to go with burgundy. Now right here around her hairline, it's not that dark. No, I'm sorry, this is hazelnut. All right, let me see the blender. Or how about this pale peach? Your mama's going to be mad you came home so dirty. This is the blender, and all I'm doing is picking up some low lights. What else can I throw at it? I have a plan. Stick with me. You know what? I think a little bit more alcohol. Now you're drying quick. I bought some itty bitty little Q-tips, and I can't find them. Wax on, wax off. Well, usually by this time I've got something halfway presentable. Is everybody out there in YouTube land still watching this train wreck? Is it time to quit yet, Joycey? This looks almost more like a boy than a girl, and a young girl at that. Okay. Keep fiddling with her. No, you don't need green. I think I need to do this. I didn't really want that dark one again. I got it. Anybody watching this? I have painted myself into worse corners than this. Now you know darn good and well that's white or light. See, if I was doing this all by myself, y'all'd never see it. Ooh. Don't use black. Here's that palest peachy. If I were you watching, I would probably fast forward this to see if I get it resolution. Oh boy. What time is it? 5:03. I turn into a pumpkin here pretty quick. Well, come on now. Yeah. I'm going to put some colored pencils down. These are tricolors by Derwent. They're called Magic. I don't even know if these are. Yeah, they're working. Got a lot of work to do. This is a gold ochre and interesting thing is going to be to see if I can get it lightened. Anyway, anybody that wants to see my good work, almost every other portrait I've ever done has been better. I don't expect the tricolor to. Train wreck. Still got stuff sticking out from. This is a crazy art. White. It's supposed to be pretty good, but it's not doing anything. Put you back where you came from. See what else I can throw at it. There's a Prismacolor. No, Polychromos. Well, we know that doesn't work. Okay, guys. I think I'm stumped. I made a mess and don't know how to get myself out of it. Whew. We'll give it 5 more minutes. Okay, Vic, you've got 5 minutes to fix it. You made this mess, now you fix it. white, casing. I dropped this palette the other day and it's not real happy with me. Her nose got long on me. Never give up. I talk more when I kind of know what I'm doing. That'll help bring those eyes down a little bit. Just take them off and start over. Well, we know that it doesn't like. I think this is a fail. I am so sorry, guys. So, you can't do alcohol portraits layered. You can only do it by putting down a color and leaving it. So I'm not saying that won't work. I think I ruined it. I mean, it was already ruined. Okay. Yeah, Rosemary likes to jump. She likes to listen. And since I don't talk very much. All right, guys. I am signing off. You're hearing me say, ooh, I goofed. Let me put this handle back on. I don't know how it came off. Well, yeah, you do, because you dropped it the other day. Cover that mess up. Let's put the pretty one back up in case they haven't already taken their screenshot. Okay, pretty one back. There. Okay. If I think of something else to try on it, I'll do that. I might even get some oil out and try that. Okie dokie. I love you. Thank you, Joycey. Thank anybody who happens to see this mess on replay. I promise they're not always like this. Okay, bye. Love you guys.